Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are all doing great. This is the Faizanul Haque from Lekhapora Online and welcome back to another video of IELTS preparation. Okay, so in today's video, I will continue discussing about how to introduce yourself in the IELTS Speaking Test Part 1, including your home, your hometown, neighborhood, and of course about your hobbies. The first section in this speaking test is the interview part, and I have already made the first part of this video where I have discussed your work and studies. So without any delay, let's get started. First of all, please remember to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any other exciting videos on IELTS preparation. Okay, so basically you have to introduce yourself to the examiner in your speaking test part 1 by answering a few basic questions. I have already mentioned that when you enter your test room, and then the examiner might ask you to sit down and may start asking, what is your name, what can I call you, do you work or study, and so on. And then if he is interested in your work or in your studies, he might ask you from these two topics to have the flow. But however, it is not apparent or necessary that the examiner asks you about your study or work always. He might also ask about other topics as well from the very beginning, like about your hometown, your family, your neighborhood, or about your studies. Okay, so suppose the examiner begins his first question with, let's talk about your family. Let's talk about your family. Okay, so that's a signpost. Why I say that's a signpost? Because that's a signpost because he's gonna talk about your family. About my family. Okay. So then listen to the question. Tell me something about your family. Tell me something about your family. So how would you answer? If you want a simple template to begin with, I have a large family. There is my mother and my father. I have 2 younger brothers, but I don't have any sisters. That's it. This is a simple answer from my side. What I may answer in my speaking test, you can use this template and modify it for yourself also. Okay. Now you see that it is very short and straightforward, right? Not too wordy and just in 2 sentences. Now, if you don't have any siblings, just say like that, I have a small family, just me, my father and my mother. You can also add, but my relatives and my cousins live very nearby, so we seem like a family together. That's it. Again, if you are a married person, you can use this template. I recently got married and my wife and I live in a small apartment, but my parents live very nearby and my wife has lots of relatives nearby. She's very close to her family. That's it. Very simple, short and conscious. Okay, now if the examiner asks, what do you enjoy doing with your family? The ideal answer would be, we usually take a big vacation with my family every summer. We rent a good hotel facing the beach and I also like to spend my time with my cousins. Or you may even say, unfortunately, I am too busy to spend my time with my family because of my job. But I visit my parents when I can. My mother cooks a nice dinner for me and we sit around and gossip about things. It is quiet and relaxing. Then the next question will come in. Basically, there will be a variety of questions, but let's take just one example. Do you prefer spending time with your family or with friends? Here again, keep it simple. Say whom you prefer spending time with. It can be your friends, it can be your family. Then you just use 2 to 3 sentences to describe why. If you want a simple template, here you can say, I like spending time with both family and friends, but to be honest, I have more fun with my friends. My friends and I share a lot of common interests, that's why they are my friends. Or you can even may say, I really enjoy spending time with my family. My brothers, sisters and I enjoy many of the same activities. We have a lot in common. That's it. Very short, simple and straightforward answer. Okay, so now the examiner could jump on to asking questions on a different topic. Suppose he may say, let's talk about your hometown. Tell me the place where you live in. Now, this question sometimes confuses so many people, because if you listen to it very carefully, they say, let's talk about your hometown, tell me the place where you live in. And some people go like, should I talk about my hometown, or do you want to know about the place where I live in? And because they're not the same, so what should I do? What should I answer? So they just start panicking there, and they panic so much in the test. Don't panic there. Just remember, the examiner doesn't really care about your hometown. So you can talk about any town, but just one specific town, right? Either your hometown or where you live. It doesn't even matter to the examiner. So you could say something like, I basically came from a large city. It's a very busy place. The streets are always crowded. A lot of interesting people, and people live and work here. That's it. A very simple and short answer. Or you can say, my hometown is very small and quiet. We only have a few stores and one movie theater there. It's a peaceful place to me. It's a peaceful place to live, but it isn't exciting. The population is small, so everyone knows everyone else. That's it. Very short, simple and straightforward answer. Okay, then the next question sometimes comes up a little bit different, right? One example could be, what is something you don't like about your hometown? Okay, so many people start thinking that I have prepared for what I like about my hometown, but I have not prepared for this one. Okay, so here you need to find one particular thing or one specific reason about your hometown that's not usually people likes about. But if you don't find that specific reason instant about your hometown, so you can just say, my town can be a boring place to be. There aren't many things to do here. Everything is always the same. Nothing ever changes. That's it. Very conscious and smart answer. Now, if you want something different to say, you can use the common answer, that is, I came from a big city and there is a lot of traffic there. A lot of traffic in the streets. Because of that, the streets are always noisy and the air is polluted. I really don't like that, but I guess it's the same in every big city in the world. That's it. Very short, simple and conscious and smart answer. Okay, so now we have looked at some of the questions for hometown, work and studies. Let's look now at home, and more specifically, accommodation. Let's talk about your home. or let's talk about your accommodation. This is again a signpost that he's gonna ask you about your home where you're living in at that moment. Okay, and then the question, do you live in a house or in a flat? Sometimes the question can be, what kind of accommodation do you live in? Here you may say something like, well, I live in a flat in a high-rise building with my family. It's not so big or not so small. Still, I enjoy life there because all facilities and services are available within walking distance. That's it. Now, the next common question about homes is often about decoration. So they may ask, how is your home decorated? Or what is your favorite room? Now, a very quick trick. If it helps you to think, you can repeat the question, right? How is my home decorated? Let me see. Well, my home is decorated with a few landscape paintings attached to the wall, and almost everything is painted in plain white, and the interior design is simple but very pleasant to look at. Okay, now let's look at the other question. What's your favorite room? What's my favorite room? Let me think. Okay, my favorite room is definitely my own bedroom. It's the personal space where I can do whatever I want without getting scolded by my mom. Besides, my bedroom is an ideal place for me to avoid noise. So I tend to lock myself up in my bedroom whenever I need to concentrate on my studies. That's it. Okay, so here, repeating the question is absolutely fine. If it helps you to gain time to think about your answer, just do it, no problem. It is not like your IELTS writing test where you need to paraphrase, you need to use synonyms, where you need to use the correct forms of the sentences. It's not like that. It's spoken English, so you can be natural in speaking. I don't know if you have noticed that or not, we often repeat the question in our own mother tongue. So you can do the same thing in your speaking test because it's a conversation with the examiner and you. So no problem at all if you repeat the question in your answer. Now, another question you are often asked about your home is, do you like living there? Here you want to say briefly in yes or no and then 1 to 2 sentences to describe why. Maybe something like, yes, I do. I actually like it because it's spacious and cozy. All the facilities and services are available within walking distance. So it's well connected. That's it. Now, another question you are often asked on this topic is, would you like to move to a different home in the future? Here you may say, although my current accommodation is wonderful, I would love to experience living in a villa once. Since it was my childhood dream to have a swimming pool and a garden of my own, a villa seems like an ideal house for me. That's it. Very simple and in brief. Right. So now let's move on to talk about your hobbies. Do you have any hobbies? Here you can say, yes, of course, I do have hobbies. I actually have a lot of hobbies. Of them, I would like to mention that I love playing football. That's it. Then the next question, are there any hobbies you would like to have in the future? You can say, certainly, I have always been interested in trying new things. I would love to learn guitar because of my interest in music. So if I had more time, I would definitely take lessons. Okay, so If they want to continue talking about your hobbies, then they might also ask you, what are some advantages of having hobbies? In this question, you can talk about 2 to 3 advantages of hobbies. Something like, I think hobbies provide numerous benefits, such as it helps us relieve our stress by keeping a tough time. Having a hobby is also important if we want to enjoy a better social life and a stronger bond with the people around us. That's it. Okay, now let's move on to another topic that you will often be asked in your speaking test, and that is about weather. What is weather like in your city or in your town? Here's a simple template. In my town, we have 4 seasons. So weather depends on the time of year. It varies a lot, from very cold to very warm and everything in between. That's it. Okay, on this topic again, you do not have to worry about your actual weather. Now, if you try to think and if you try to talk about the exact climate of your town, there is a high possibility of mumbling and making a mistake. Moreover, the examiner would not care about what you answer. He will evaluate how you respond and how you talk in English. So that's it, no need to worry here. So try to give a brief and just a straightforward answer in this interview part, right? So another simple template if you want. We have a very pleasant climate in my town. The weather is usually mild. The temperature never gets too high or too low. That's it, a straightforward and smart answer. Nothing to worry about here. What do you like to do when the weather is rainy? Here is another question on this weather topic. And here you may say, I love rainy weather. I like to make a hot cup of coffee and get a good book and sit by the window listening to the raindrops on the glass. That's it. Okay, now if this sample sounds a little bit difficult to use, you may also use this. I don't do anything special in rainy weather. I don't care about it, except there's a big storm or thunder and lightning. I feel a little bit scared. I don't like that at all. That's it. These are some common questions on the weather. Okay, right. Now, let's look at some of the questions on food. What kind of food do you prefer to eat? You can answer in this way. I like trying all kinds of food. I especially like dishes from foreign countries. I always enjoy trying food that is new and different. Or you may also say, I like the meals my mother cooks. She cooks food that is traditional in my country and it's really delicious. Nobody cooks as well as my mother does. That's it, very simple answer. Then the next question, do you usually eat at home or at restaurants? You can say here, I usually eat at home because it's too expensive to eat at restaurants. I only have a meal at restaurant when there is a special occasion. For example, someone's birthday. That's it. Again, the examiner might also ask you that, what is your favorite restaurant? You can answer by saying, my favorite restaurant is a seafood restaurant near my house. I like it because I like fish a lot and it has lots of other kinds of food on the menu too. That's it, very simple answer. Okay, so far we have talked about your work, studies, hometown, home, weather, food, and whatnot, hobbies. So remember one thing, first impressions are really important. You don't wanna ruin your first impressions by making any grammatical mistakes. So make sure here in your part 1 of your speaking test, you don't do any show-offs and just keep your answers very simple, straightforward and sweet. When the examiner asks you why with any question, you just give 2 to 3 sentences to give a bit of detail on your reasons. That's it. Okay, the last thing I want to share with you guys is that we made this video based on Baron's IELTS preparation book. This is the book, and I took all the sample examples or sample templates from this book basically, so this book can really help you on your preparation journey. Okay, so just to remind you that there will be many videos on our YouTube channel Lekhapora Online, obviously on IELTS preparation. So if you don't want to miss any other videos or further videos, make sure you subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to have the notifications. So till then, until the next time, take care.